Hi everybody. We're taking a look at the Perms and Coms section of the Diploma Prep. This is specifically the section on permutations. We're going to solve 2a here. NP2 is equal to 30. Okay, now there is a calculator way to handle this, and I appreciate that, and we'll go over that in class here, but what I want to do to start off with is I want to take a quick look at how you might do this one algebraically. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so it's a little bit easier to see. NP2 is equal to 30. Now, I can't do much with it algebraically in the form that it sits, so I got to convert that into its factorial notation. And so it's going to be n factorial over n minus 2 factorial. Make that a little darker there. Now, between those two, which is bigger? Well, it's going to be n. N has got to be bigger than n minus 2. So now what I'll do is I'll expand that out. N times n minus 1 times n minus 2 factorial, and I put that factorial there because I can see right now that that matches up with the denominator. So I'm going to get this n minus 2 factorial, and I've got the n minus 2 factorial in the denominator. Now those will become 1. And so now I'm left with n times n minus 1 equals 30. Now I'll be honest with you, this question really should be done here. Because look at what this is saying. I'm looking for factors of 30 that differ by 1, n and n minus 1. Okay, so some number multiplied by one number less than it is equal to 30. Well, let's think of the factors of 30. Oh, wow, 6 and 5. So if n is 6, this term here is 6, this second term is 5. So n must be 6 in this problem. I can tell you right now, n equals 6. But let's just assume right now that you don't see that. So then this becomes n squared minus n equals 30. N squared minus n minus 30 equals 0. And see, the ironic thing is, and in order to factor this, what I have to do is figure out what my factors are of negative 30 that differ by 1. And so if I didn't see it up here, I certainly am faced with it right here. And this ends up being n minus 6, n plus 5. So n is either equal to positive 6 or negative 5. Now, turns out in this case, in this chapter, we're going to reject the negative values here. And so the answer here is definitely positive 6. And we had already figured that out. So that wasn't such a big deal. Now what I want to do is I want to show you very quickly how you might do this on your calculator. Zoom out a little bit here. Okay, same question. We're going to go into y equals. And I'm going to enter x NPR 2. Okay, so this is essentially n pick 2. And what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to graph it, but I'm going to use a tool that I think is highly underutilized. I'm going to use the table of values. Now before I do that, I just want to make sure that my table is set properly. I want it to start at 0 and I want it to go up by 1. So I'm going to go into my table set menu, that second window. I want to just change that to 0 and 1 here. Now ultimately it doesn't really matter where it starts, but the table set, that does matter. And now I'm going to go into my table of values. Now notice that the y coordinate here, they start off at zeros. What I'm looking for is where that y coordinate goes to 30, because the equation was np2 equals 30. So I'm going down to look for 30. Oh, there it is, where n is equal to 6, or x is equal to 6. So once again, there's my solution. Calculator works great for a question like this, unless the question was to ask you to find the extraneous root, in which case the calculator simply won't do that. So you just got to be prepared for the algebra as an option as well here.